As you go around the world touring, speaking to teenagers and young people, what are some of the key points that you like to address?
Well, a lot of the key points I like to address are in my books. My first book, Letters to a Young Brother, Manifest Your Destiny. My second book, Letters to a Young Sister, Define Your Destiny. We go through different steps of how to achieve your goals and dreams. You know, a lot of people out there are very aspirational, and there's a lot of things they want to achieve. However, they, in many cases, don't have people in their lives that have taught them how to get there. So one of the main things I talk about is being an active architect of your own life, and that means you can design, build, and create whatever life you want. But there are certain techniques you want to use to get there, and I talk about that.
Okay. And you referred to those two books as being mentorship on paper. What are some of the more memorable responses that you've received?
Oh, I mean, I've received thousands and thousands of responses for both books, and all of them are just as memorable because they're from individuals who, for whatever reason, may have gotten something from the books. It could have been this piece or this piece, and so everyone's response is just as valuable because that's why you write. You know, at least for me, the idea is to write a book that's mentorship on paper, so that at different stages in different people's lives, they may get different things out of it. And hopefully that's what happens with those books.
Now, what was the impetus that led to the books, this tour, your desire to talk to college students?
Well, what happened with the books is that I had been getting asked to speak at a lot of different high schools, middle schools, colleges because of my educational background. The fact that I went to public school, and I have 2 graduate degrees from Harvard, and I'm also an entertainer. Different schools, universities were attracted to having me come and speak. But what would happen, though, is that after I would speak about a lot of the themes that I talk about even today, I would hear from many of the young men talking about their goals, their dreams, like, how do I get there? What do I do to get to what you talked about? What are the things I can do? And I started getting a lot of emails from young men. And it became very clear to me that the only way I could really communicate with them is to go ahead and write a book that fits into a number of the themes that their emails to me, subjects that they were about. And so I created a book based around a lot of the questions I was getting. I created this composite young brother that was basically a young brother representing all young brothers. And I did the same thing for young sisters.
You are a successful actor. You could have just rested on your laurels and just chilled with that. What is the impetus that makes you want to change the world?
Well, you know, I think that there's giving is the only thing that we really have as we journey, because ultimately all we do is take. If you think about it, when we're born, we're taking, we're eating, we're consuming, and then when we become adults or we have the capacity to give, the only thing we can do is figure out ways to give back. And people do it in many different ways. I think everyone should find their own lane about how they would like to give. Mm-hmm. My lane, which seems to be the most effective way, is what I'm doing now and using the platform of celebrity that I have as a means to do that, where someone else's lane may be to have a great family, or mentor a young man or a young woman in their community, or to look out for folks who are disabled or the elderly, or to volunteer at schools or volunteer at church. There's, you know, all these different ways. I remember when I was younger, I was an usher for my church, and you know, people treat ushers bad. So you're really giving if you're an usher, and that's just another example. But that's a way to serve, you know, serving other people.
I have one question. Since publishing the last book, The Conversation, have you had any new revelations that make you think a 4th book might be in your future? Any other issues you want to address?
Another book is coming. I'm working on it now. I haven't really told anybody publicly what it's about or the title, but I'm working on it now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.